We welcome you to SEC Network Monday Night Softball presented by T-Mobile from News Park in Starkville. It is a Mic'd Up Monday with Mississippi State head coach Samantha Ricketts as her team hosts South Carolina in the rubber game of this three-game series. South Carolina took the first game 2-0 Saturday, and then Bulldogs responded last night. It was scoreless, bottom of the sixth, one out. Allie Supan at second base, and Morgan Bernardini's ground ball to shortstop thrown away, and it scores Supan with the first run. Two batters later, Kinley Keller single to center. That brings in the second run, and Mississippi State won 2-0 and even this series up. So here we go into the rubber game. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. This is Danielle Laurie, Olympic medalist, among many other things. I'm Mark Neely. The pitching, I know you love it. It has been incredible on both sides.
Yeah, pitchers' duels, all the arms in this series have absolutely been incredible. Unfortunately, someone has to win and someone has to lose, but both of these two young ladies, and Alyssa Faircloth and Peja Gould, have been exceptional. The numbers, obviously Faircloth did not get the win in game one, but Peja Gould sure did last night. Man, she was exceptional. This is literally video game-esque watching her pitch, especially in person. Just those two hits, the 9 strikeouts, and she is going to be getting the ball again today. I like this move. Forces South Carolina to really have to make some adjustments off of her, but she sure was incredible to watch.
Take a look at the South Carolina hitting now. Neither team has had great success at the plate.
For sure.
And we'll see who can break through here and take this series from News Park tonight. So you said you love this move, so you're not really surprised that Peja, after 24 hours ago, throwing a complete game, 2-hit shutout right back in there.
No, I'm not surprised, simply because you didn't see a whole lot of adjustments made by South Carolina because she was throwing so well. So we know both of these teams have a lot that they can bring in certain situations. I'm not going to say necessarily a short leash, but if anything goes down, they can make that adjustment.
There's a look at the Gamecocks lineup for head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard, with Rhodey batting in the cleanup spot. 130 career walks, which is top 5 among active D1 players. But we're ready to go for this Mic'd Up Monday on a beautiful Monday evening here in Starkville. As Quincy Lelio steps in, and the first pitch, that is down low. We are underway. A couple of hits for the SoCal native in game one here on Saturday. Rides inside. Especially early in the game yesterday, Gould did a great job getting ahead of hitters. Only gave up 2 hits, and they were both to Jamie McKay, and both ironically on 0-2 counts.
And we had that conversation with Coach Taryn Mowat McKinney, and I was like, the only kind of blemish would be that she gave up 0-2 hits. And she goes, well, I got to talk to her about that. That definitely is not what I want.
Way to bring that to Coach's attention. There's a fly ball to right field. Kiara Sells puts it away, and that's the way the Monday night game begins.
It's not that I meant to tattle. It's
No.
just, hey, if I had to pick anything, it was simply that. But, man, she was on fire yesterday, being able to hit just such great spots, and you could tell by some of the swings. But what I like about today is that South Carolina gets to find a way to make an adjustment. They get to face her again. They got to kind of have 24 hours rest on it, which means they kind of went to work on kind of that plan of attack if they were to see her again. But it's different facing someone that the velo goes 58-63. Like, she's not going to blow you away with 70 plus, but that spin is 2,400 spin rate.
Hit towards the right side, an attempt there by Romero. Couldn't pick it on the short hop. And Shelton is on. We'll see how they score that, and they will score that in error.
And I think that this is definitely a play that you would expect Romero to make, but on the flip side, I think for Carly Shelton, who's been 0 for 7 in this series, I think that's important. She is always a player that I have circled in the lineup that kind of ignites this different fight in this team. So clutch for her in the first inning to get on base.
Hensley fouls the first pitch back. When you and I were chatting on the SEC Now show. What about 6:15 Eastern time? I asked you what would be the difference in this game, and you said defense. And an early error here for Mississippi State.
Especially in tight pitchers duels, right? Because any little thing that you give a team, they're going to take advantage of, and that's really what you saw last night with defensive mistake late in the game.
Their first miscue of the series. They had gone errorless first couple of games. It was an error on the South Carolina side last night that gave Mississippi State the game because of the 2 runs that State scored. One of those was unearned. And there is strike 3.
And it's sometimes just being able to pull the trigger when you don't want to, but just look, you see where Rivera is set up. She wanted it outside more, but as a hitter, it looks like it is just moving and grooving so much that you're trying to pick. It almost kind of gives me rise ball feel when you're trying to see a rise ball down and you don't necessarily want to swing, and it fools you and stays more over the plate. But not easy for these South Carolina hitters with the way that Gould has been spinning it for sure.
Ariana Rhodey batting in the cleanup spot again. Hits it towards third, and 2 are left. A tumbling catch for Nadia Barbary, and they work around the 1-out error. Gould gets through it. State brings the bats when we come back.
Zero runs, 0 hits, 1 error, and 1 run.
SEC Softball is presented by T-Mobile, America's best network. And in part by Southwest Airlines, proud to be the official airline partner of the SEC. Book now at southwest.com.
I heard something about pitching. And I didn't do it. I'm standing right here. That was not me.
It was fine the whole time.
It was Zach. He's leaning on that. I'm standing over here.
We got head coach Samantha Ricketts mic'd up tonight. Third time for her to wear the mic as the head coach of the Bulldogs. Kiara Sells leads off, fouls it back. And Emma Friedel in the circle here for South Carolina for Game 3 of the series.
Well, and Friedel really kind of set the tone for that Game 1 win for South Carolina. Had only 2.2 innings pitched and only the 4 hits given up. No earned runs, 4 strikeouts, threw really well. And the one pitch that is just so good for her is that rise ball and that curve ball, and fire me up. You just see the emotion. Listen, sometimes those are little things that can get your team going behind you. That pitcher sometimes really can get you going. I just love that fire from the junior in Friedel.
Gets a strikeout of Sells to begin the bottom of the first and faces Morgan Stiles. Haven't been many hot hitters in this series. Well, Morgan Stiles would be right at the top of the list. She's 1 for 2 game 1 with a walk and then had a couple of hits yesterday. She's 3 for 5 in the series. Ooh, hits a hot shot, 1 hop. Tate Davis up with it and throws out Stiles. So 2 quick outs. Let's take a look at the Mississippi State lineup handed down by head coach Samantha Ricketts. Got Barbary coming up now, batting in that 3 spots. Reached base in 7 straight. Had a hit in each game of the series, 1 for 3 Saturday, 2 for 3 yesterday, so she's right behind Stiles. This has been the best, most productive part of the order these first 2 games here for Mississippi State.
I just love the first 3 hitters, all seniors, all 4-year players at Mississippi State. I just think that stands out.
Another opportunity. Tate Davis on the backhand, high throw, but Rhodey able to stretch and keep her foot on the bag, and that's just a 6-pitch inning for Emma Friedel, setting State down in order.
0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors, and 0 runners left on base. Let's take it down to the
Of course, pitched at South Carolina when she was a player, but she married the baseball head coach at Charlotte, Robert Woodard. There he is in the stands. He's made the trip from Charlotte. And don't worry, fans in Charlotte. He's wearing the Carolina hat to support his wife. The two don't get an opportunity to see a lot of each other, so when he had a day off, he makes the trip here to Starkville.
And I loved it. She was so excited to tell us yesterday that he was going to be here. And you're right, it is. It's in that baseball, softball season, probably don't get to see nearly enough of each other.
They got married in November of 2024, so it's been, like a year and a half, so that's still almost kind of newlyweds, really. First pitch swinging, McKay cues one softly to second base, and Shelton Romero making the play for the putout. That's unlike McKay. She's hit a couple of hard hit balls. That one was just a little cue ball. So for now, the family is dog Easton. And I know you love, besides babies, you love dogs.
I do love dogs. Yeah, look at that family photo. Cute.
Alyssa Hovermail, who had the game-winning hit here on Saturday, a 2-run base hit that snapped a scoreless tie in the 6th inning.
Well, and funny to note, 4 of the last 5 hitters all have swung at that first strike, right? Lelio went down up in the count 2-0, but you're seeing a little bit different of adjustment in South Carolina, not falling behind in the count, simply understanding and respecting how tough it is when you get 0-2 off of Peja Gould. So you've seen them swing a little bit earlier.
Gets her second strikeout and 2 quick outs South Carolina second.
And you almost see with Hovermail, she's way off the dish. The adjustment I would try to make as a hitter is like, I want to try to toe the line and try to exploit that curveball. And I say that respectfully, probably wouldn't be able to do it. But the one thing, too, that Gould did a really good job of yesterday was to be able to own the inside part of the plate with the backdoor curveball and that drop ball. So, I don't know. I'd try to play a little bit of a chess game as a hitter and move myself around in the box, try to get in her head some way.
Gould threw 102 pitches last night in the win, 2-hit shutout, 7 innings, 9 Ks, which came on the heels of her previous start Wednesday against UT Martin when she threw her first career no-hitter in a 7-0 7-inning win. Threw 80 pitches in that one on Wednesday. Well, her nasty stuff, I was kind of surprised that's her first career no-hitter.
When talking with Coach T before the game, like looking at last year to this year, she's added definitely throwing more of that drop ball. You're seeing it in her arsenal a lot more. She's always had it. She just didn't necessarily throw it much, and I think that really at times was kind of a big setup pitch. Not only is that her heart is velo-wise at 64 miles an hour, but the velo seems even hotter because her curveball comes in at 58. So when she can command both sides of the plate with the curveball and can throw and sprinkle in the change, but then hammer down that drop, it makes it sometimes where you almost got to give yourself a hit and run as a hitter. Like I'm just committing to this pitch. I'm going to try to let it rip. Yeah.
2-2 pitch to Winters. Good take there, and the count has gone full. Lexi 0 for 4 with a walk through the first 2 games of this series. Getting the start behind the plate again for South Carolina. 3-2's hit through the hole and into left field, and Winters has a base hit. 2-out single for the South Carolina catcher.
This is big for Lexi. Winters 0 for 4 in this series, is able to get to a 3-2 count and just kind of muster something up through the left side. Solid piece of hitting.
Third baseman number 8, Tate Davis.
Well, brings up the 8-hole hitter, third baseman Tate Davis. It's going to be so interesting to see how deep Peja Gould can go in this game, because with Alyssa Faircloth throwing the complete game here on Saturday, technically Mississippi State has not used their bullpen yet.
Ooh, close.
Close at first base. Winters diving back in head first.
And I don't even really think that Mississippi State has had to
No,
go to their
they have
bullpen,
not.
right? Like, the starter has been able to go all 7 innings, throwing well.
And she comes right back with a strikeout. Her third of the game, and works around that 2-out hit.
I mean, has anyone played wiffle ball in the backyard? Because this is what it's like. Bayou.
0 runs, 1 hit, 0 errors, and 1 runner left on base.
Doing a little dance step here to the bottom of the second inning. The Bulldogs having fun. Top 25 matchup, rubber game of this 3-game series. And Samantha Ricketts, fastest in school history to 200 wins, doing it 319 games. And they come in with a record of 31-7 on the year for this season, 3-5 in conference play after the win in Game 2 of the series yesterday.
Well, and a really good first inning for Friedel. Only needed the 6 pitches.
Paige Ernstess leads off. And plate umpire Scott Mears says it's a strike. Paige got the start in Game 2 yesterday. 0 for 2, did have a sacrifice bunt. Friedel right back in that same spot.
And I just love it. I love watching the mannerisms of pitchers and just how they connect with the defense, and they just kind of give off this aura and just energy and swagger. And in a rubber match, man, that is so important. It starts in the circle.
That ball's hit deep to left, and it's going to get out. First of the year for Ernstess, her 3rd career. She had 2 in her true freshman year a season ago. Batting in the cleanup spot for the 2nd straight night. She goes yard and gives State an early lead.
Well, and if Friedel could get 1 pitch back, it would be this. This is a 1-2 count, way too close, especially with how she's been throwing. But Ernstess ready for it. Listen, before the inning even kicked off, Coach Sam Ricketts had that whole team in a circle, and she was kind of laying into them a little bit. And you just see how they took that little message and carried it over. And the one thing that you do see in the game now more than ever is when pitchers miss over the heart of the plate, teams don't miss. They take advantage of that. That's exactly what you saw by Ernstess. 1-2 count. See you later.
6th RBI of the year for Ernstess, and that's followed up by a Bernardini base hit to right. Morgan's 3rd hit of the series, as she had 2 in Game 1.
And I know something with South Carolina, one of the biggest things for them is just no back-to-backs, right? Like trying to eliminate any further damage from happening. You give up the home run, and then that next hitter steps up 1-0, takes a hack on a count. Listen, I'd probably have a little bit of a shorter leash. You don't want anything to get too carried away. I know we're still early, but I just think at times with the way that Mississippi State's pitchers have been throwing, it's tough to put up a boatload of runs. So you want to make sure you keep this game tight.
Kinley Keller had an RBI base hit in a 2-0 win yesterday for Mississippi State. Well, for Friedel, she started Game 1 with 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 4 Ks, and threw 53 pitches here on Saturday. In her first year in the program after a couple seasons at Kennesaw State. Still nobody out with Bernardini aboard here in the bottom of the 2nd.
I don't know why 1 run feels like it's like 4 runs. Maybe just because we haven't seen a whole lot put them on the board the last 14 innings.
It's the first time a ball has left the ballpark in a game.
Yeah.
That home run a moment ago by Ernstess, not only is their first homer of the series for Mississippi State, it's their first extra base hit in the series.
It's definitely goes to show how well that South Carolina has been throwing it too. I think it's obviously when you make that mistake, teams make you pay, especially Game 3 of a series. And to me, Mark, I I know every SEC series is so important, but I think for both of these teams, this is a must-win. This is a must-win for obviously trying to put yourself in the best position to scoot up and want to do some damage in the postseason. I think winning SEC series is huge.
7th pitch of this at bat here to Keller. And she fans. And Friedel picks up her 2nd strikeout of the game.
That's a great answer back by Friedel. Was down in the zone, took a little something off it. Chasing by Kinley Keller, a solid pitch to get back in it. 1 down for South Carolina.
But back to your point, I mean, this is an important series for both these teams. Obviously, let's be realistic. I mean, neither of these teams is going to win the regular season, but you want to put your resume together. I mean, for Mississippi State, they had to go to the Lubbock Regional last year.
Yeah.
That was not a great place to go to try to extend your season. Of course, South Carolina hosted the Super Regional, and you were there when the UCLA series went sideways for them.
That was a heartbreaker. I felt it too. But Mississippi State, yeah, the Lubbock Regional last year, I know my Huskies were there. They had played Mississippi State.
Anna Carter, check swing strike. I remember watching that all breakdown live, and I could tell through your voice, you were as shocked as anybody. It was an incredible turn of events.
I mean, Jordan Woolery and Megan Grant are the 2 hottest hitters. That was crazy that she got pitched to. I still feel the emotion of that.
And right now, South Carolina fans, you can stop talking about that if you two would like right now. That's deep into left in foul ground, and Lelio has an opportunity and grabs that. So a foul out of Carter for out number 2.
Well, you know, there was certain series that stung. You could say the same thing about Texas A&M and the number 1, obviously, seed overall and losing to Liberty. Like, there's moments in time that will stand with you forever in this game. And the South Carolina to me last year, and then that Texas A&M, I just remember where I was. I think I actually shed a tear in the Texas A&M one. Like, for both sides of obviously what it felt like to lose, but then on the flip side for Liberty. And
it was incredible TV to watch, I'll tell you that. But South Carolina was so close, had not been to the Women's College World Series since 1997. Now, what a first year still it was for Ashley Chastain Woodard. I mean, if you said, hey, you're going to make it to the decisive game of the Super Regional that you're hosting, will you take that as your first year before the season begins? You'd be like, yeah, let's go after that. Obviously, the way it played out certainly stung. On the infield, second baseman wants that. Shelton, a little bit of battling the sun, and makes the catch. But Ernst's long ball started the inning, starts the scoring tonight.
Well, and you love just a 1-2 Tater putting the Bulldogs up 1-0.
Hey, we keep taking cuts like that, we're going to be on her. Same thing, attacking in the plan, in and out. He's a little bit wider, so let's make sure we're looking for something early that she misses on that we can drive. Right? Good job seated down, attack something early. Here we go.
Love the sound there. You got, hey, like the swings. Gave us a little review with a plate umpire zone. Nicely done.
And that was the communication before that inning even kicked off, where you saw Ernstez make that adjustment. If she leaves something over the plate, let's go, get on it. And that's what you saw from that leadoff hitter. And that's why I think sometimes these mic'd up Mondays are so fun, because you're like, is the message translating? Are the athletes able to like do something with what the coaches are saying? You love it.
9-1-2 batters here for South Carolina. Now down a run, top of the third in this rubber game of the series. And Shea Anderson, Moore Park, California native. Gets fooled there on the pitch from Peja Gould. It'll be interesting to see how far Peja can go in this game.
And the breakdown of Peja's velocity, that curveball that sweeps across from the right-handed hitters is coming in at about 58 miles an hour. So it's not something that's blowing by the hitter. But when she's able to throw her hard pitches, meaning that drop ball at 63, 64 miles an hour, it almost gives you a different type of feel as a hitter. Like the velo feels hotter because you're trying to essentially get on time with a 58-mile-an-hour curveball or a backdoor curveball. It's kind of video game-esque.
On a line to shortstop, Morgan Stiles. A couple steps to her left. And Anderson hit one squarely there, but she's the first out.
Well, and this is money, and you've seen a couple of these. You saw this from Ariana Rhodey, and then you see it from Anderson in the 9 spot. And I'm intrigued to see second time through the lineup here and the adjustments that South Carolina's made, because we've seen a lot more solid contact that they've made off of Peja that first time through.
Did she go? No. I went down to the third base umpire for an appeal, Alex Leap. Let's see, Lilio fly to right her first time up. It's one high in the air down the right field side. Sells has the sunglasses on in the sun field and right. 2 down. Again, South Carolina won the first game of this series 2-0. By the way, when they won that game here on Saturday, it was their first win here in Starkville since April 7th of 2017.
Wow.
It had been a while. Another 2-0 game last night, won by Mississippi State, setting up this rubber game. Now Shelton reached on an error first time up. A bloop behind short. Stiles going back and makes the catch right in front of the left fielder, Bernardini. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, and the South Carolina third. We're less than 48 hours from April, and that leads to May, and head to Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. Your SEC standings: Texas's 29-game winning streak ended Game 3 against Texas A&M. Though Texas gave them a scare in the bottom of the 7th inning. A little late rally. So Texas and OU right now atop at 8-1.
Yeah, and that LSU series with Oklahoma was a lot of fun to watch as well.
Arkansas, Florida, what an ending there.
Gosh,
For Game
Dakota
3.
Kennedy, there was 2 outs too when she hit that 3-run shot to clinch the series over Florida.
Cyan Romero, the second baseman, leading off. 9-1 and 2 hitters for Mississippi State. A leadoff homer from their first baseman, Paige Ernstes. The only run in this game. And the Friedel. 2-1.
Besides that one blemish, really, for Friedel with the solo shot, I mean, she's thrown well. She's been efficient, and I think Game 3 of a rubber match, right, when you do miss, the team will make you pay for it. Essentially a one-run ball game. It's anyone's game still at this point, which makes one of these must-win rubber match games so fun to call.
Romero gets jammed and charged by Davis. Tate's throw is a good one to first. And a ground out begins the inning.
Right fielder, number 9, Kiara
Just coming down to being able to make these little routine plays. Tate Davis over there at third on the run.
So 1 out and back to the top of the order. Kiara Sells, a senior from Jasper, Texas. 1 hit in each of the first 2 games of the series. 1 for 4 Saturday, 1 for 2 with a walk last night. Called out on strikes in the first tonight. This is her 4th consecutive game batting in the leadoff position at the top of the order. Morgan Stiles is a leadoff hitter for the first 35 games of the season, and then last week Samantha Ricketts said, you know what, I love my top 3 in the order, but let me flip 1 and 2.
And Coach Tyler Bratton and coach's third base had been advocating for it for quite some time.
Yeah, I liked how he interjected that when we were bringing that subject up about Sells leading off. And Tyler like, yeah, I'd kind of been on Samantha for a while to make that change.
And I think, too, it's like being able to get one of your top hitters the most at-bats that they can possibly get, but also know that she's protected, right, with Morgan Stiles and Nadia Barbary. I mean, these 3 in a row, all 4-year seniors at Mississippi State, like that just does not happen very often.
She's far and away their leading home run hitter as well with a dozen. A little tap back to the circle, and Friedel fields and throws her out. Even with that put out, Kiara Sells has reached base 12 times in her last 19 plate appearances. But 0 for 2 tonight.
24, Morgan Stiles.
Well, the base is empty for Stiles. Rolled out to Davis at third, back in the first inning, 0 for 1. That's going to send Lexi Winters out to the circle.
Well, and all those 4-year starters, it's not Stiles, excuse me, Nadia Barbary, Kiara Sells in that leadoff spot, and then Morgan Bernardini. And I had asked Coach Ricketts about that, and she said, listen, 2 of those players didn't even really play their first 2 years, and it could have been pretty easy for them to just kind of hop ship and head somewhere else, but they chose to stay. They continued to keep putting in the work day in and day out. Like, I love that piece. I love the work, like willing to know that, like, man, I'm not where I need to be, but let me get after it. And I mean, Kiara Sells was a walk-on. She paid her own way to be here. They didn't even have any money for her, and now obviously quite a bit different, but
What a strike now on Stiles. Who in her true freshman year last year started basically every game, but mostly at second base. Shortstop this year. Takes a strike. It's 1-2. Had a really nice freshman year a year ago. Hit .331. On base percentage over 400. Game of this 3-game series on this Monday night from Starkville, South Carolina next weekend. It's a Thursday through Saturday weekend with Easter Sunday, and South Carolina goes to Tennessee next week. And Mississippi State will go to Gainesville, take on the Gators, and there's strike 3. Stiles out looking as Friedel picks up her third strikeout. When we come back, we'll chat with the head coach of the Gamecocks, Ashley Woodard. Top of the fourth, let's chat with the South Carolina head coach, Ashley Woodard. Rubber game of the series, Coach. What was the message to the team as you head to this big one?
Yeah, just to fight and figure out how to win. We had a great conversation. We feel really prepared, as you do usually going into Game 3 of any series. So, just to get everything we got and to fight really hard for it.
Coach, that first time through the lineup, definitely a lot more kind of hard hits off of Gould, but this second time through, any other kind of adjustments you want to try to see them make off of her?
No, I think we are making better contact than we did yesterday, and we're in a really good part of the order here with Inslee and Rhodey and McKay coming up. So I like what they're doing. We just need a little bit of a break, a ball to go through, and then just stack it together.
Appreciate the insight. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Head Coach Ashley Woodard, maiden name Chastain, of course. She pitched 3 seasons at South Carolina. Back home in Columbia. And there's her husband, Robert Woodard, who's the head baseball coach at Charlotte. Of course, they met when Ashley was the head coach during the 5 seasons she was the head coach at Charlotte. She took Charlotte to a couple NCAA tournaments, 23, 24, and of course did so with the Gamecocks as well last year in year 1. Tori Inslee to lead off.
And I do feel like this is a crucial opportunity here for 3, 4, 5. Try to get something going, try to create some momentum here.
Tori squared up and then saw something she didn't like, took it, and it's a strike. Deep breath for Peja Gould, or I should say Gould's next pitch down and away. Early in the game, you said you noticed a little bit of change in the stuff of Gould.
I thought she's definitely still able to get ahead, but I think you're seeing some more potential foul balls than we saw yesterday. And then you saw a couple lineouts. I mean, Ariana Rhodey with that liner to Barbary, her last at bat. You saw it by Anderson in the 9 spot. You saw the base hit by Winters. They're finding ways.
Little roller back to Peja. Throws out Inslee for the first out. Here's a cleanup hitter, Ariana Rhodey, who hit the ball sharply but lined out to the third baseman, Nadia Barbary, to end the first.
And Rhodey was someone that I asked Coach Chastain what about prior to this series kicking off. Just average a little bit down, still some good pop with the homers and ribbies, but she said she's just been squaring balls up in BP. She's on the upward, and I think they're continuing to keep having conversations. Listen, your senior year, sometimes there's just this different pressure that you feel, right? Like, we can never replicate what we did in the past, especially when you just have a heck of a year, but still really able to contribute.
High drive, deep left center field, and that is well up and out. Ariana Rhodey ties the game with her 7th home run of the season, and it's 1-1.
This is what I'm talking about, Mark. Like, squared up a pitch, her last at bat, but unfortunately didn't go her way, and then was able to get something and hit the mistake by Gould. This is a curveball that did not float enough, and she's able to take it out for her 7th home run of the year. That has to feel so good with just sometimes maybe the added pressure that that young lady puts on herself, knowing what she expects of herself. She helps lead this team. I mean, that's clutch.
The home run has tied it. Peja Gould, who on Wednesday had a 7-inning no-hitter, 7 shutout innings here yesterday. Shut him out through the first 3 innings of this game, so she had 17 consecutive scoreless innings until that long one by Rhodey ended that streak.
And to me, someone that has had the best at-bats has been Jamie McKay. I mean, to me, she's a staple in this lineup. The amount of work that she has had to do this year to make herself a staple in the lineup, and had to have a hard conversation with coach, and her coach pretty much said, you're only playing to go and take some innings off of Winters behind the plate. You have to get after the cage work, and she has just worked tirelessly. And you love to see that, especially for seniors, right? Coach had just mentioned her. You don't want to look back and have any regrets, especially your last year. And you love to see that from the Ole Miss transfer. Just
popped up in foul territory and struck by Ernstes for the 2nd out. So McKay 0 for 2 tonight.
But when we did talk to the pitching coach for Mississippi State prior to this game kicking off, she said the only one that has not looked like the pitcher has disrupted her timing has simply been Jamie McKay. She just has not looked scared. She's had great at-bats. She had 2 hits yesterday at 1-2 counts.
Base is empty for Alyssa Hovermail. So a couple of solo home runs in this game. Paige Ernstes leading off the 2nd for Mississippi State. Now the 1-out homer by Rhodey here in the 4th to even up the score.
Well, and I think, too, when you look at both the home runs that have given up, the hitters have been ready for that mistake pitch that has missed over the plate, especially knowing that pitchers have not been doing that this series. They have been cruising.
Two balls, two strikes on Overmail, a strikeout victim her first time tonight. And Peja Gould paints the outside corner and K's her for a second time. But Rhodey ties the game with a long ball into the evergreens.
Well, and this is clutch. Ariana Rhodey, 7th home run of the year, puts this game squared up at 1.
Welcome back to SEC Monday Night Softball presented by T-Mobile on what is a Mic'd Up Monday with the home head coach Samantha Ricketts. Let's get another sample, round 3 from Coach Ricketts. Coach Ricketts loved to see the home run from Ernstes. Ernstes due up second in this inning. Barnaby leads off. By the way, all of those colored pins have a purpose.
I don't know that purpose. What's that purpose?
Well, I'm not sure what each one's individual purpose is, but I'm sure they all have a purpose for what happens in the game. The orange pins, you know, whatever.
Sorry to put you on the spot, partner.
They're very coordinated.
A little Roy G. Biv action.
Bouncy ball up the middle. Barnaby reaches with a base hit. Her 4th hit of the series. And that's going to bring up Paige Ernstes, who did this first time up.
Yeah, she was ready for this pitch. Turns on it, takes it out of here in a heartbeat to left field. So excited. Love to see it. Fire me up.
Coach Ricketts is going to use a runner here for Barnaby. Ali Supan, who pinch ran and scored the first run of the game last night, will run here for Barnaby near the bottom of the 4th. And Ali Supan, who was at second base on the ball that was hit to short that was thrown away, was trying to go from second to third, and that was on a very aggressive play and probably played a key part in that ball getting thrown away.
I agree. I think she would have been dead out if you would have made the throw to 3. Obviously, some feet would have had to be shuffled by Anderson, but you're right. I think that was a key play, and we're going to have a little bit of a pitching change, bringing in Jory Hearn.
So with the pitching change, we'll step aside and take a quick timeout as Hurd gets loose. Jory Hurd has thrown a combined 104 pitches through the first 2 games of this series. 4 1/3 innings Saturday, 3 2/3 yesterday, and she's back in.
And this is kind of a perfect storm for South Carolina when you can kind of bring the hammer and Jory Hurd into late in a game. Mind you, it's just the bottom of the 4th, but it feels late. She's just kind of that high leverage reliever. You don't necessarily want to start Jory Hurd. You want to be able to bring her in with the pressure and say, hey, the game is yours, take it. And kind of a perfect storm here for the senior to be able to come in.
So she inherits the runner Barnaby, and Ernstis at the plate takes the strike. So 3 innings plus 1 hitter into the 4th for the starting pitcher, Emma Friedel.
Curveball for Jory Hurd, one of her bread and butter pitches, kind of throws it at a 125 average clip to those right-handed hitters. She tends to favor that outside corner a little bit.
A home run to left for Ernstis, first time up, her first of the year, 3rd in her collegiate career for the sophomore. That's to right field. McKay comes in to make the catch. And Hurd retires Ernstis for the first out of the inning.
And that's the thing about Hurd. She can spread the zone really well. She has good variety of pitches. She can climb the ladder with that rise. Can go down if she needs to, but has that good curveball. She can just pinpoint accuracy with that pitch, and then she has that change. And I think when she's able to sneak that change up in, has that good whiff, meaning the swing and misses, 39% on that off speed. You see that right there. That tends to be something she always has in her back pocket and kind of makes you feel uncomfortable as a hitter. And that, to me, is what makes the velo feel even hotter, when you have that changeup that you could throw at any pitch to start off an at-bat or bring it in late.
Popped up on the infield. Shelton onto the outfield grass to squeeze it. And Hurd's gotten a couple of harmless balls in the air to the right side and 2 quick outs since coming into the game.
Center fielder, number 33, Kinley Keller.
Sends up Kinley Keller. Kinley an RBI in last night's win for Mississippi State. True freshman who was SEC Freshman of the Week very early in the season, back on February 16th. Holds up but takes a strike, and Hurd quickly ahead 0-2. Needs a little bit of time. Softly hit left side, gobbled up, thrown on the run by Tate Davis. So Hurd comes in and gets the three to retire the side. When we come back, we'll chat with the head coach of the Bulldogs, Sam Ricketts. Rubber game of this three-game series, tied at 1 as we go to the top of the 5th. Let's chat with the head coach of the Bulldogs, Samantha Ricketts. Each side a home run. Ernstess in that cleanup spot got the hit for you out of the ballpark. What have you seen offensively from this team and making adjustments here for Game 3?
Yeah, I think just, knowing that we need to attack a little bit earlier and just staying on the offensive. And I thought Paige did a good job in a hitter's count of being ready and going up there looking for a pitch, and just something we need to be consistent about, I think, 1 through 9 in the lineup right now.
Coach, Paige Gould, yesterday's game and then continuing that over to today, but deciding to make the change to bring in Amon. Thoughts behind that?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be an all-staff day and just, getting as much out of Paige as we can in back-to-back days. And just thought she was following up behind a little bit that last inning, and just wanted to make a quick switch to Layla, knowing we've got Alyssa behind her in the pen as well.
We'll see how it plays out. Appreciate the time, and thanks for being on Micah Monday.
Yes, thank you. Hail State.
Samantha Ricketts. Appreciate her doing that. Her third time. I said, when were the other two? She said, one was against Auburn, and the other was when we were actually at Texas A&M, and Tricia Ford didn't want to do it, so I did it.
Huh. Yeah,
So
anytime you can hear just the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, love to see it.
There's the aforementioned Layla Amon. And her first pitch is a strike. Making her first appearance of this series. And a no-hitter against Southeast Missouri State not long ago on March 10th. It was a 5-inning no-no, 56 pitches. Only an error kept it from being a perfect game. Towards third, but foul.
Well, even just kind of looking at Layla Amon and her numbers last year at Middle Tennessee to this year, there's a big difference. 3.07 ERA her freshman year to then just completely do a quick turnaround. A .82 ERA with a .58 whip. She just has been so good, and I think you really just have to give a lot of credit to Coach Terrett Mowat-McKinney and just her attention to detail on these pitchers and how individual she is with them, right? Like, she is so very much one-on-one in the bullpen with them, learning them, and I think instilling this different type of confidence. It's different coming from a mid-major to then say, hey, all right, you're playing in the SEC. The biggest difference is the mental gauntlet it takes to be great every day. There's no room for error. And when they kind of have this three-headed monster with Faircloth and Gould and Amon, it's dangerous.
Layla, who pitched her true freshman year last year at Middle Tennessee State. Line to left field, off the glove, and into second base with a slide. Winters getting a hold of one. Bernardini went back, got a mitt on that, but could not corral it.
And this is two really, really great at-bats for Lexi Winters. She had the single in the second inning, and then to be able to carry over that momentum. I think, to me, it's so important, especially when you get a new pitcher. That sets the tone, right? A leadoff double, like, hey, let's go. Let's try to pour it on. You just love to see that.
Eighth double of the year for Lexi. She's going to come out with a pinch runner, Lexi Shaver. Shaver runs. Meanwhile, Coach Woodard wants a conversation with her upcoming hitters here.
And I think anytime you get a runner at second base with none out, kind of with 9 outs left in a ball game, you have to find a way to score her. So you need to advance that runner, whether the bottom half of the lineup here and Tate Davis drops that bunt to move her over, and then you're in kind of that sack fly territory. I think it's so important that they need to score this run.
Coach Browder with the conversation with the 3 there, and now we're ready to go again with Tate Davis. Struck out her first time up. Well, there haven't been many opportunities in this series, Danielle, where now you're just kind of, with nobody out, you're just looking for a productive out here from Davis. You'd love to get that runner to third. She fouls it to the right side. First inning of work for reliever Layla Amon.
Good job by Amon to work the count, heavy up and in on the hands. 1-2 count, and these are kind of those types of counts, especially as the game continues to progress. You want to be able to throw a pitcher's pitch, something not close.
Two and two on the sophomore Davis. She's out of Greer, South Carolina, Greer High School. Played her freshman year last year at Ole Miss. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Shavers will be held up at third. The throw comes in. Not a bad throw at all there from the right fielder, Keller. And they get more than just a productive out. They get a productive hit from Davis, and runners are at the corners.
Dang, and the pinch runner, Shaver, she's lucky. She was getting waved home all the way. This is solid. Look, this is, you got to tip your cap if you're Amon. It's bled a little bit over the plate, but man, she hits it hard to the right side. But she was getting waved home all the way, and then he late stopped her. If that was a dart throw home, I think they would have been able to kind of get her over at third base. But definitely some action here for South Carolina.
So both teams now wanting to talk. You got the 9 spot coming up, Shea Anderson. Saw no activity down in the bullpen there on the Mississippi State side.
But like I said, I mean, on the Tate Davis hit, like you kind of got to tip your cap.
Yeah.
That was a good pitch.
That ball was down and away, and she just kind of went down after it and golfed it into right.
I feel like anything that is not feeling like a light flight machine right now from the pitcher probably feels pretty good for South Carolina, just because they were having their struggles against Peja Gould with just that really spinny stuff that she throws.
That was just the second hit with a runner in scoring position in this 3-game series for South Carolina. They were 1 for 10 in that department prior to the hit by Davis. So now they come in at the corners and shorten up as well up the middle defensively. Anderson ground ball to third. Throw's going to go to first. It will advance Davis down to second, but a big out there from Mississippi State, keeping Shavers at third. 1 out. A big at bat here, top of the order. Quincy Lilios fly to right twice. First pitch strike from Amon. Amon quickly gets ahead, 0-2.
Nothing like coming into a game and just a pressure cooker right out of the gate.
Welcome to the rubber game.
Yeah.
Lilio wanting to put something in play. Squeeze and can't get it down, and she's out. With 2 strikes, she strikes out. Interesting call there with 2 strikes to do that. You'd think normally with maybe no strikes or 1 strike.
Yeah, I feel okay saying this. I don't like this. I just don't. I don't understand. I don't know if this was self-inflicted and she did it or if it was being called, but
it was definitely called. The runner from third was coming down the line on the pitch. It was orchestrated.
With knowing that Amon tends to go up and down, I think in that case you were hoping for something up, that rise ball to be able to barrel it up. Bunting a drop ball is tough.
Bouncing ball to short. They can get it out of the inning, and they do. Shelton grounds out to Stiles, and South Carolina misses a golden opportunity. It stays tied at 1.
Has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
Back in Starkville. Rocking the Billy Squire, and they're rocking getting out of the top of the inning. It was first and third. 1 out, had a leadoff double in the inning, and South Carolina fails to score, so it's still 1-1 as State comes up bottom of the 5th. Anna Carter, who's DP, making her first start of the series, leading off.
I just felt like it was the right time to pull out the nerd clusters. I mean, we got lots going on here. Leadoff double. I thought for sure South Carolina that inning was going to be able to manufacture something.
And that is off the base, off the safety base, I thought.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, it's a
red.
foul ball. Yeah.
I was reading the rule book last night. If it does go off the safety base, it is a foul ball.
Correct.
I know it is.
It's in foul territory. Oh, the safety base has been a great idea. It's about time that they instituted it, but it rarely it sets up this where it adds a little confusion. But the umpires are right on it. And that was Tatum Stolting. She saw it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I do like the addition of that, though. I feel like
Yes.
there's just been some crazy collisions, unnecessary.
That ball's hit well. Right field, deep, off the base of the fence. Carter into second. Standing up with a double.
Well, and I don't know about you, but did you see the lights flicker?
Yeah, that went way too early. That's not something that needed to happen.
And you could see the frustration, like the coaches in the dugout for South Carolina were throwing their hands up. This is a changeup left over the plate. I thought maybe it had a chance to get out, but just hit the base bottom of the wall there. And then there's just kind of some lights flickering, but Anna Carter, fire me up. Deja vu situation from last inning with South Carolina. We'll see how Mississippi State tries to get some stuff going.
Carter's first extra base hit of the game. They'll run for her at first base. Kalani Sells. Yeah, I think the flickering lights are supposed to happen after a home run. And I think they had geared up thinking it was going to get out of the park.
Yeah.
And the person with their hand on that, whatever causes the flickering lights, got going a little early. Well, I think we've seen this movie before in the top of the inning. Let's see how this one plays out.
We sure have.
South Carolina got a leadoff double in the top of this 5th inning from Lexi Winters, but failed to score, left a couple runners on, and now Carter's double, giving way to the pinch runner, Kalani Sells. You got Rivera at the plate, in at the corners and up the middle. She shortens up the bunt, missed it. Throw goes to third, but there's nobody back at second, so Sells was free to go as far as she wanted.
Well, I like the timeout by Zach Parsons, the pitching coach, to be able to go out. I think remembering who the heck you are. If you are Jory Hurd, yeah, there's a leadoff double, but she is that senior. She's that rock of this team. I think being able to go out and tell her that, right? Because sometimes we just feel this sense of pressure with stuff, but being able to remember, hey, I am who I am. Let's go. Let's rock this out. Let me have my team's back in this situation. This is what pitching to me is all about. You have to love the challenge of being able to step up in situations, especially late in ball games. Heart pounding a little bit more. Tie ball game, rubber match.
Rivera's swinging away with 2 strikes. Davis couldn't come up with it cleanly, and that allows Sells to advance to third. And Rivera, who couldn't get the bunt down on the first 2 pitches, forced to swing away, and it works out for Mississippi State.
Yeah, and this hurts. Tate Davis, I mean, you need to be able to glove this up cleanly. I know they don't make errors on purpose, but really needed this one. More momentum on the base pass here for Mississippi State. Defense is going to have to clean itself up a little bit here with runners at first and third with none out.
They're going to run for the catcher, Rivera. Schaefer will run. Des Rivera, the 9th spot up here. Zion Romero. Infield stays in with nobody out in the inning.
Infield pulled in. Obviously knowing that run at third, you were getting that ball home as quick as you can if you get something.
Runners at the corners, nobody out. Tie game, last of the 5th in this rubber game from Starkville. Good pitch. Hurd painting the inside edge. Getting herself back in the count. Up high, throw's going to be cut off, but down to second. Schaefer swipes a bag. 3 balls and a strike. The count on Romero. That's a high strike.
High strike, but it's a strike.
Yes.
We talked about it prior. Fans don't like it.
Romero asks for her time, her one time. Step out here, collect her thoughts, full count. Big 3-2 pitch from Jory Hurd. Line off the glove of Anderson, all the way into left. 2 runs will come in, and in with a head first slide at second is Romero. Well, a hot shot that got on Anderson in a hurry. We'll see how they score it. But 2 runs are in, and State leads it 3-1.
She turns on this pitch, just a little bit too much over the heart of the plate. And you're right, this is just an absolute just tater right at Shea Anderson, who's obviously pulled in with the circumstances. Clutch ribbies, excuse me, for Romero in that 9 spot, who had a good patient at bat. I love it. She called time with a pitch that she didn't think should have been called a strike. She gave herself that moment to get her head right and then stepped in the box 3-2 and did some damage.
Ladue scored a double, a 2-run double for Romero, her 6th and 7th RBIs. Kiara Sells re-enters the game here and bats for a 3rd time. And it looks like we're going to have some changes here for South Carolina. So the Gamecocks are going to make a pitching change. Neely Lamb coming out of the bullpen. Neely, who made the start yesterday, is going to come in relief here. And she'll be the 3rd Carolina pitcher of this game. We'll tell you more about her when we come back. Coach Ricketts reacting to the Romero 2-run double. And now a 3-1 game in favor of Mississippi State. And Neely Lamb, who started yesterday and went 2 1/3 scoreless, comes in here.
And I like making the change, bringing her in. I know it's a 1-0 count. This is something that we've seen multiple times with South Carolina. It doesn't matter what the count is. It's just the situation right, and it is. I think I have to go back to the defensive miscue by Tate Davis, right? That error at 3rd. I mean, man, it's different when you get outs. It just feels different. And that little key mistake, that was a hot shot hit at Anderson. I think if she was playing back, she would have been able to catch that. But based on where she was at, that was a liner.
Another pitch coming to Kiara Sells, and a little check swing, a little floater that's going to find a hole out in left center, and no place to go with it for Inslee. As blue base hit there for Kiara, who's now hit safely in every game in this series.
Well, and you respect Sells, right? So center field and Inslee, she's way back simply because you understand that Sells has 12 home runs and leads his team. You're definitely not playing in, understanding that she's going to be able to dink a little ball in. So continuing to pour it on here, Mississippi State, and finding some green.
Strike one to Morgan Stiles. Been a 2-run inning. Runners are at the corners. Still nobody out in the inning. Leadoff double by Carter. The error committed by Davis on the ball hit by Rivera. Romero's 2-run double. Sells blue pit, and now Stiles, fifth batter to come up in the inning, and a bouncer to first. A look at third, but meanwhile, coming down the line, Rohde's able to tag Stiles and get an out there. Sells advances 60 feet down to second, and it keeps Romero at third.
Nadia Barbary.
There's Nadia Barbary, who singled to center, leading off the last inning of the fourth for Mississippi State. And a little check swing there. Runner coming home. Throw goes to first for the out. It would have been a tag play at the plate. So Neely Lamb goes to first to get the first out of the inning. The other runner also advances, Sells to third, and now it's 4-1.
I don't think anyone chalked up a swing and bunt by Nadia Barbary, but here it is, just off the end of the bat. I think this is the play you have to make as a pitcher. You're right with the tag and just the speed from Romero. There was just no way they were going to be able to get her. They need outs. That's 2 outs here for South Carolina.
Play had Sells' little check swing blooper into center, and then that one right there.
Yeah.
And if you're South Carolina, you're like, wow. You don't even have to swing a full swing here, and it's dropping in for you in this inning. Paige Ernstess is up. She's had a big hit in this game. That was the home run leading off the second to open the scoring tonight. This is also fly to right. A 3-run inning here so far for Mississippi State. I don't know if I anticipated one of the teams having a 3-run plus inning tonight, perhaps.
No.
But you mentioned on SEC Now before the game, defense.
Defense.
Can
Late
play
in
a
the
big
ball
part,
game.
and
Yeah.
that has played out to this point.
It ends up sometimes popping the balloon in those types of situations.
All 4. The runners back at the corners now with 2 outs, and the 8th batter to come up in the inning. Bernardini was due. Silva has been out in center field the last inning. So she's going to hit here. And they're going to run for Ernstess with Abby Grace Richardson. Richardson will run it first. Silva will bat for the first time in the game.
Tatum's runner to first. Number 2, Abby Grace Richardson. Now adding number 22, Tatum.
The left-handed bat, Tatum Silva, steps in. Tatum has played in all 3 games of this series. Got an at bat in game 1, 0 for 1. Played left field, did not receive a time at bat yesterday. First time at the plate tonight. Swings and hits a high fly to left. Lelio drifting back and makes the catch to retire the side. But 8 batters come to the plate, and State scores 3. We've played 5.
Use that right there. They left him out there. Good. That's momentum in our favor. We're scoring on this goal right now. We got to find some line drives in it, right? Same thing. Early counts, attack. String them together. Come on.
Loving the Mike Up Monday tonight with Samantha Ricketts, the head coach of Mississippi State. Her team just scoring 3 in the bottom of the 5th, and in this rubber game of the series, they have a 4-1 lead. Top 6 now. New pitcher in the game is Alyssa Faircloth, and she'll face Tori Inslee to begin the top of the inning.
And I like bringing in the lefty with 6 outs left. It's not that Amon was throwing bad, but there was definitely some action on the base pass. And I think for South Carolina, it's trying to just get something going and remembering that you scored 2 against Faircloth in the circle. You won game 1 against her on Saturday. Use that.
Off speed on 2-0. Faircloth did take the loss on Saturday, but 7 solid innings, allowed only the 2 runs. No walks and struck out 9 through 110 pitches in that game Saturday. Normally that kind of line is going to win you a lot of games. It didn't on Saturday for Faircloth.
And sometimes you're on the losing end of a great pitching performance in the circle. It comes sometimes with playing in one of the toughest conferences. But it's that changeup is the separator, honestly, for her. I mean, 56% of the time she is getting a swing and a miss on that pitch in the zone, meaning when it is for a strike.
And a walk to Inslee, so leadoff base runner on for Ariana Rodi, who did this last time up.
And this was clutch. This was so good. This must have felt like just a bunch of weight lifted off of the senior's shoulders. At times she's been struggling a little bit. She's been swinging it hot and BP, all the things, but to be able to step up in that moment and tie the ball game up might have been the one thing she's needed to just kind of unleash herself for the rest of the season.
7th home run of the season. As you mentioned, Danielle, it tied the game at 1. State with 3 in the last inning. Now, Faircloth just missed 2-0.
Timeout here by Styles at short. And we saw this yesterday, this kind of exact same scenario where sophomore called timeout, was able to just go connect with the pitcher a little bit. I think that's good. Obviously, you walk the lead off and then fall behind 2-0. Just being able to slow the game down a little bit, not letting it speed up.
Upstairs to Rhodey. Mariana, who played her first 2 years at Charlotte and came along with Coach Woodard from there to South Carolina. Taryn Mowat wants to get in on the conversation out in the circle.
Yeah, I think just this connection so important here, right? Uncharacteristic for Faircloth to come in and walk the lead off and then go 3-0. That's just not her game. It's not what she does. And Coach T definitely throws it all out on the table. Probably definitely holding her accountable. Like, let's go. You got to go attack these hitters. And she's too good not to, right? And to throw that many balls right out of the gate is definitely too much for her. So go, trust your stuff, get after it. Your team just gave you 3 runs. There's no reason to be falling behind. Trust.
Well, Peja Gould, the starter, back down to the bullpen. Of course, since she was the starter, she can re-enter. Strike. Rhodey dropped the bat, was headed to first.
No comment.
I was going to ask you the same thing. Well, this time she more emphatically dropped the bat, if not kind of semi-slammed it, knowing that was ball 4. And it's going to get the tying run to the plate. Jamie McKay, who, even though she's 0 for 2 tonight, has been hitting the ball well in this series.
Well, and I would be careful with, obviously, Jamie McKay. Respect for what she's been doing, especially as of late. But I think back-to-back walks, I think if she falls behind way too much here, you got to be careful. I know a 3-run lead seems like a lot, but you don't want to give up those free passes willingly.
By the way, Ansley Bennett's running at first for Rhodey. There's Ansley. 2 on, nobody out. First one missed to McKay. There is a strike from Faircloth. A little bit up, says plate umpire Scott Mayer.
And I can't really complain about Scott Mayer's zone today. I haven't noticed it. And to me, that's when you know an umpire is doing a good job, when you don't notice.
He's been great, very consistent. Outstanding crew here, along with Alex Leap, Tatum Stelton. There's Alex Leap at third, who was the plate umpire last night. Tatum, who had the plate in game 1. Big 2-2 pitch coming to the right side, knocked down off the mid. Ernstes has nowhere to go with it. And the bases are loaded. Well, South Carolina looking to respond right back here, loading them up with nobody out.
Well, and a good piece of hitting. This is a hot shot off the bat of Jamie McKay, and Ernstes not able to glove it up. The ball gets too far away from her to be able to do anything with the pinch runner Bennett making her way over to second. Listen, if you are South Carolina, you have to maximize this inning. They had opportunities in inning prior where they had the leadoff double and they kind of shot themselves out of that. They have to find a way to get something going here, especially with none out.
Well, here's Alyssa Hovermail at the plate. She had the 2-run single on Saturday for the game's only runs. Takes strike one. Did score that, a base hit, by the way, for McKay. Overmail 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes a strike here. Overmail 2 for 5 with the bases loaded this season. Game was tied going to the bottom of the 5th. Mississippi State just put up a 3 spot. Got help from an error. One of those runs unearned. And South Carolina, a couple of walks, infield hit, have loaded them up for Hovermail, who's hit 1 out this year. That's another one out foul.
That's a good job by Hovermail to be able to foul off back-to-back off-speed pitches, knowing that that's her bread and butter pitch. That's her highest swing and miss pitch. She just can command that so well. That's what you want to do, have a gritty at bat.
Faircloth gets a big strikeout. He gets Hoverdale swinging for the first out of the inning.
This is clutch by Faircloth, just blowing it by her. Backdoor curveball, outside part of the plate with some extra wiggle, a little extra velo probably feeling with the back-to-back changeups prior.
The Winters, who's had 2 great at-bats, makes it 3. At least 2 are in. The tying run coming around. Throw to the plate. Oh, she's out! What a relay. What a throw by Stiles, and they gun down the potential tying run at home.
Really good job by Lexi Winters. It just gets over Stiles' head, but it's just the quick Keller to Stiles to home on the money. So many things at times have to go right with the catcher, with where they're at. They're not obstructing whatsoever. So clutch. Great defense by Mississippi State. Let's go.
Yeah, the rules and rulings on obstruction by the catcher have fortunately been kind of cleaned up a little bit this year, and I think that helps everybody.
So good.
8-6-2 on the putout at the plate. Rivera putting the tag on. So it is a 1-run game, 4-3 State, and the tying run is at second base. How about Lexi Winters, though, man? She's 3 for 3 in this game.
Really good. You're right to bring up Lexi Winters. I mean, a 3 for 3 day, single, couple doubles.
You know what? And I don't fault South Carolina for sending the third runner at all. I don't know how you feel about it. It took really 2 perfect relay throws to get her out at the plate.
My only hesitation was that the ball didn't go to the wall. Like, I wanted it to go to the wall. That would have left 1 out with a runner on third. That's my only thought behind it, with knowing that they would have had 2 more outs to toy with. Could have thrown a squeeze in the mix. Could have tried to make more action. But it's not that I disagree with it. I don't know if I would have done it, but I think if the ball went to the wall, I would have sent her. But
can't argue with that at all. I would say this: if there were nobody out, I would have held it. But with 1 out, I thought it was worth a chance. But State made him pay. And there is strike 3. You said defense was going to play a big spot in this game. Well, sometimes it's the positive defense you get with some incredible plays like this.
Well, and this was huge. Lexi Winters stepped up big, but to me, it's Keller stops his ball from rolling to the wall. Stiles home. See you later.
Let's take a look at the best in the game, brought to you by T-Mobile. It was a 1-1 game when Zion Romero was up in the 5th.
Yeah, this was clutch, and this got some action going for Mississippi State and definitely gave them that go-ahead run. It was clutch. Fire me up.
They scored 3 in that inning. 1 was unearned. That unearned run is the difference in the game right now. First pitch swinging, Kinley Keller fouls it. We're in the bottom of the 6th, so Mississippi State knows they're going to take at least a 1-run lead to the 7th in the rubber game of this series.
I know that I'm thinking ahead, but you and I were just chatting between breaks. And you mentioned a good point. Like, I'm not opposed to bringing Peja Gould back in the ball game, just with the action of South Carolina and the momentum that they may feel from last inning going into the following inning.
Bounced out to second base. Shelton throws out Keller. You know, we were debating about South Carolina sending the 3rd run on that play. I was fine with it. You had your reservations, and the more I think about it, I may lean towards what you say now, because if you hold that runner, I think you force Mississippi State at that point to make a decision. Do they bring in Peja back at that moment?
Right.
And they didn't have to make that call with the tying run at 3rd. 2 quick outs here as a ground out to Anderson off the bat of Carter, who had had a double to begin that 3-run 5th.
But I would be opposed to bringing her in the top of the 7th. It's not that I don't think Faircloth is a phenomenal pitcher, but I mean, the back-to-back walks to lead off an inning is not good, and then the base hit, and she was clutch with the strikeout to get back into it. But sooner or later, when you play with fire, you get burned, and that's what you were able to see with Winters, who stepped up big.
I would not be shocked at all for Peja to come back in this game.
Well, when Coach Taryn Milton-McKinney is out in the bullpen with Peja Gould, and I don't know, there's just something about that I think is important. I would pull the trigger.
I'm at the point now where I'm shocked if she doesn't come in the game.
Yeah.
With everything we're seeing here, with Taryn Mullen out in the bullpen with her.
That's why they pay us the big bucks, right?
The signs are that Peja's going to re-enter this game. Ground ball towards the hole. Diving stop from her knees. Rhodey couldn't dig it out with that quick pick. And Rivera is on. Really good effort here by Davis.
Really good. Tate Davis laying it all out there, throws kind of a line across and just not able to glove it up. Would have been a heck of a pick.
Goes as an infield hit for Rivera. Gives Zion Romero a chance here with 2 outs. He had that big 2-run double an inning ago. Up there, Hackett fouls it into the screen. Four runs, 7 hits for Mississippi State. 3 runs, 6 hits for South Carolina. Romero making her 2nd straight start tonight at second base. Neely Lamb's next pitch. Chopper backing up at shortstop. Well played, and the throw by Shea Anderson retires the side. Last chance for South Carolina. 9-1-2 due up.
SEC Softball is presented by T-Mobile, America's best network.
Siri from News Park in Starkville. 4-3 Mississippi State. Here comes South Carolina, top of the 7th, and to virtually no one's surprise, Peja Gould is back.
I would do the same thing, just with how South Carolina was barreling up Faircloth and her struggles a little bit with finding the zone. I think that this is Peja Gould's game to close out.
Anderson leads off, 9-1-2, due up. Peja throws the first pitch, strike. 4 innings under her belt in this game, came out in the 5th. Anderson is lined to short, grounded to third, and she's in the hole 0-2. And on 3 pitches, Peja gets the strikeout to start the 7th.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. She just spins that curveball 58 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. So good.
Top of the order, Quincy Lelio. 2 fly balls to right and a strikeout. The strikeout came on a squeeze, a bunt attempt with 2 strikes in the 5th. This is one of the wonderful things about this game, the game of softball that I love, is the starting pitcher being able to re-enter.
Yeah. I'm with you. This is clutch right now for Mississippi State to be able to have this in their back pocket. And obviously it was with the mentality of Faircloth to be able to close this ball game out, but sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want it to. And with how Gould has been throwing, man, she's been so good.
Ooh, boy. So close. Scott Mary's had a really good zone all night. Says it wasn't a strike. And might have been off a little bit.
Yep.
2-2. High fly. Deep center field. It'll stay in the deep part of the ballpark. Straight away center field. Lelio, who's not homered all year, made a bid there to tie it, but she's the second out. Lelio's only hit 3 home runs in her career. She hit 1 in her freshman, sophomore, and 1 in her junior year. Off the bat. Looked like it had a chance, but they're down to their final out. Shelton ground ball, and she is going to reach base. So Romero had to chase it into right field and earns this off the bag. Shelton's aboard.
And I do feel like left-handed hitters tend to have a little bit more of an advantage off of someone like Gould, just simply because she has that curveball that she can really throw well and spin. Even though the clip tends to favor lefties hit 160 off her and righties 148, I would want to be a left-handed hitter simply knowing that she can't spin that curveball into me. That's that one pitch against the righties.
Bouncing ball to second, the flip in time. Gould closes it out. And Mississippi State wins the rubber game of the series, beating South Carolina 4-3.
You're definitely able to get a treat tonight in this game. Great pitching. You saw some clutch hitting late. A rubber match feel. Both teams just doing everything they can to scratch and claw. I thought South Carolina was going to get back in it. And that play at the plate, the phenomenal defense, that's what it really comes down to late in ball games, right? Being able to play clean D, make those plays.
And with the win, Mississippi State now 32-7, 4-5 in conference play, and South Carolina drops to 22-15, 2-7 in conference. It's a fun series, Danielle.
It was.
Coming up on the other side of the break, SEC Now with Alyssa Lang and the crew in the studio. But once again here, Mississippi State wins at 4-3. For Danielle on Mark, good night from Starkville.